Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the main event. The final game of Week 11 brings us to the West Coast for the Lions and the Bombers. Season series is on the line. Winnipeg coming in off a bye week. Last time they played, they shut out the BC Lions 25-0 2 weeks ago. BC's lost 3 in a row, but they get back a very familiar face.
Yeah, you go back 2 years, he's a top Canadian in the CFL. Nathan Rourke has made his return. It's been the talk of the town here in Vancouver for the last week. He was 9-3 in 10 starts back in 2022. Zach Collaros' last game versus BC, he threw for just shy of 300 yards, completed 82% of his passes in the shutout. Collaros is 12-4 all-time against the Lions, but 9-2 as a Bomber.
Mike O'Shea's team has 16 days rather between games. They're 0-4 on the road this season, 15-1 coming off their last 16 byes. Rick Campbell trying to end this slide. He's lost 3 in a row. We'll have Rourke back. BC won the coin toss, said they want the ball, and they will get it as we get set to wrap up Week 11. Castillo will get this party started. Low driving kick forces Williams back just inside the 5. Takes it cleanly. And is tackled just outside the 20, which is where the return of Rourke will begin.
Well, let's take a look at some of those numbers when you go back to 2022 and his 10 starts. Of course, injured and then returned in the playoffs, over 3,000 yards, completing just shy of 80%. 80% of his passes. Top completion percentage in CFL history. And it's been a whirlwind, let's put it that way, for sure, over the last year and a half, certainly over the last month and a half. And he's had 3 practices.
First full football game in 644 days for Rourke. Starts it with a completion and a first down over the middle to Eberhardt.
I talked about it in the pregame show, but one of the superpowers for Nathan Rourke when he was back here was his processing speed, how quickly he can read the defense, get the ball out of his hands. We're going to see a lot of that tonight. He knows this offense well. It's just a matter of getting back into the rhythm with it.
Up to the BC 35. This time on the ground. Stand back, a nice cut. He's got a first down. Eventually tracked down by Nichols, but back-to-back big gains for BC.
Yeah, last time he was here was James Butler was the tailback. He's got a different type of back to work with here with Williams. Stand back, but a good run in his first touch of this game.
14 yards for stand back, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. So far this season, this Winnipeg defense has been airtight 3 games in a row. BC trying to drive on them early. Rourke fakes it, pressure, gets it away, in and out of the hands of his big receiver, Katoy.
Anytime you're playing against Willie Jefferson, I think your tackles have to be on top of their game. Jarrell Broxton and Kent Perkins for the BC Lions and the offensive line have to play at their best against number 5. He is back. He's played great in the last 2 or 3 games. We'll get to him in a second. Justin McInnes is still leading the league. He's been off in the last 3 games. 3 losses, not a lot of production. Part of that is the quarterback situation, but still leading the league. Didn't play with Rourke. 2nd and
10 from the 49, just a 3-man pressure. Rourke dumps it off to his running back, and Stanback will take it up just shy of midfield, and that'll bring up a 3rd down, and Flintoff will come out to kick it away.
Interesting that Nathan Rourke is returning to play against the same team that he played the last time he was here at the Western Final in Winnipeg, and still has some unfinished business with regards to that, we heard this week.
There's his good friend, Lucky Whitehead, set to return. Whitehead will take this at the 15. Oh, boy, he bobbles it. That's his first return since 20.
For the same hotel and save up to $50 a night. Hotel Trivago.
Welcome back to BC Place, where we were talking about O'Shea going for win 100, and joined a pretty elite list right there.
Yeah, if he can get it tonight, that's 168 games, and he'll get to number 100. Incredible that Wally Buono did it in 134 games. get to 100 wins. That's an impressive list of head coaches right there.
The next win for the franchise will be win number 700 for the Bombers. 1st and 10. Polaris, they'll get him out, run into his right, dumps it off. Brady Oliveira. And Winnipeg responds with a 1st down of their own here on the road.
Yeah, I mentioned off the top, I think this offense is back. Their offensive line is playing together. Brady Oliveira is getting back and involved in a bigger way over the last 3 games, and Zach Collaros is working off of that out of play action. And you know, he's got to change that TD to interception ratio, but I said this offense has played very well. Almost 300 yards passing in the shutout against the Lions a couple weeks ago.
80% passing his last 2 games. An offense in general that would like to score some more points, though. Here's Collaros. Deep shot, far side. Lawler, he's back, but he can't haul that one in. Working against Adrian Green, and Green got a hand on it.
Well, we get to the starting lineups. We might as well tell you who we're going to highlight. That's Kenny Lawler, who is back. And so we made sure we got our highlight camera focused on 89, because you know before this game's over, he's going to make one.
There'll be one.
1 or 2. And they get down in the red zone. I guarantee you 89 becomes a top target. That's great defense by Adrian Green to track him and get the left hand out on that ball.
Adrian Green in his 3rd year with the Lions out of St. Mary's. 2nd and 10 from the Winnipeg 28. Lions will bring some heat. Collaros hangs in there, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete, but there's a flag right back by the quarterback. And will this drive stay alive for the Bombers?
Like it may have been a high hit.
Major foul, roughing the passer, BC number 40. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's an automatic 1st down for Winnipeg.
Pete Robertson.
Pete Robertson off the edge. I think Rick Campbell's looking at it, but this looks to me like a shot to the head. And not intentional. Coming around the corner, you can see the top crown of the helmet from Pete Robertson, making contact to the face mask and chin area, and that will be flagged every time. Got to get that contact lower.
Instead of an incomplete pass, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bombers on their own 43. Far side. Dropped in there, pushing it ahead as Lawler, tackle made by Seontae Evans. Lawler back with this Winnipeg offense.
Yeah, I didn't highlight an offensive lineman because I just think they're playing together as a unit. And the way you can track that for this offensive line is look at Brady Oliveira's numbers over the last few weeks. If Brady Oliveira starts patting his head somewhere in this game, they're rolling along the ground. And there's Kenny Lawler back in the lineup, and our highlight reel film is ready to go.
Brady over 600 yards already this season. Will stand in there behind Zach Collaros on a 2nd and 4. Now up to the right to protect for his quarterback. Collaros down the field. Lawler again. He's got it in the 35. Takes it down inside the 30, and a steady diet of Kenny Lawler seems to be working for Winnipeg.
Well, it looked like the safety, Patrice Rene, who's playing in the middle, just vacates it. He goes to the short side of the field, leaving the middle wide open for that inside cut by Kenny Lawler. No 2-4 in the picture. There he is up at the top.
34 yards to Lawler. Bombers in business early. Collaros again has another completion. There's a flag on the far side of the field as that one went to Clursius. This is against BC.
Offside, BC number 56. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a 1st down for Winnipeg.
Christian Covington, the guilty party.
We're in the middle of your screen. He's going to get the he'll take the play, decline the penalty. And this is Kenny Lawler's zone right here. Why one of the reasons that I think Zach Collaros is so excited about having Kenny Lawler back in the lineup is that they get down into the score zone inside the 20. That corner route is dynamite and tough to cover.
Dembski, Lawler, and Lucky Whitehead out to the left. Wide side of the field for Collaros. Brady Oliveira in behind him. Zach waiting. Now he's pressured in trouble and he's taken down. Absolutely sandwiched there. Sione Tehema has his 4th sack of the season.
Take a look at the pressure because it's coming from down at the bottom, and extra offensive linemen in the game and trying to add that protection. Lawler was open initially. Zach Collaros wasn't ready to throw at that moment. And there's Lawler. If he gets the ball right now, it's a touchdown for Lawler. He split that zone defense, but the other end, pressure trumps coverage all the time.
A loss of 6. Collaros, end zone shot. Dembski got it. Touchdown, Winnipeg. Collaros to Dembski, and the Bombers strike first.
Just the 2nd touchdown of the year for Nick Dembski. And maybe they'll start coming in bunches. This is a favorite route for him down in this area, too. It's that corner route, and I don't think Adrian Green got a ball call. He didn't know the ball was on its way. He was just trying to catch up to Nick Dembski. And Zach Collaros drops it right in there.
5th passing touchdown of the season for Collaros. Castillo knocks one more through, and the Bombers on the road lead 7-0. An 8-play.
Power through your day, medicine. And try new DayQuil Hot Remedy.
Bunch formation for the Bombers on there. There's Dembski, and watch the communication issue between Adrian Green and Seontae Evans, the corner. Bunch formation now, and here comes Dembski. He misses the jam, and now the switch has to happen between Evans and Green. They don't make the switch. That puts Adrian Green in a trail position. He's not catching Dembski from that far back.
Dembski now with a catch in 63 straight games. Williams on the return, wrapped up and taken down just outside the 25 by Michael Ayers.
What an efficient drive for Zach Collaros out of the gate on the road. All the talk about the other quarterback on the other team.
This is just
and the Bombers just go, yeah, we're going to go take care of business. 8 plays, 93 yards over 4 minutes.
Zach goes Collaros. 5 of 6 for 84 yards and a touchdown to open this ball game. Your move, Rourke. I love this matchup. 1st and 10 after the return on the 27. Rourke. Quick completion, Big Hill the tackle, but not before a 1st down is picked up against his Winnipeg defense. That's Justin McInnes.
Willie Jefferson's now had 3 quarterback sacks in the last 5 games, so he's starting to fill that stat category again. Well, it's off to a bit of a slow start, but still playing well. The leader back there, though, is Adam Big Hill, and he'll remind that entire defense that Rourke has not beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in his time in the CFL. How about Tyrell Ford and his 3 picks?
Rourke now down the near sideline, laying out for it. Incomplete. Katoy, that's a big man at 6'5", trying to go get that one.
Boy, he had a chance, though. I think, Rourke here is throwing Katoy open. The coverage is excellent on Katoy. You can't cover any better. I believe that's Evan Holm. But he threw it to the one spot where Katoy had a shot at it and just couldn't reel it in.
2nd and 10, 3 options to the right for Rourke. 2 to his left. In the pocket, spins on the run to his left now. Dumps it off up high. Eberhardt couldn't hang on. Just a bit behind him, and he got turned around. Rourke on the run, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I almost thought that he was going to take off and run there. Like he had someone tracking him down. It might have been Big Hill himself. There he is, number 4 in the middle of your screen, and he's this makes the decision to go after him, and that's when Rourke lets it go just a little bit behind the target. But there's Vernon Adams right there to be a great teammate, which he has been all week long. Still hurt, by the way.
Still banged up on the sideline watching. Whitehead takes this one clean. 55.
Bags, accessories, home decor, and it's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You can do it in a minute. I love it.
Well, I don't think it's an overstatement to say that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are welcoming back a human highlight reel.
Settle in and get ready for a little bit more of this. I mean, you can be all over him in coverage, and it doesn't seem to matter. A couple of nice catches already tonight.
Kolaris already closing in on 100 yards. Hands it off this time. Johnny Augustine into the game. Gets a little bit of extra help against this BC Lions defense.
And take a look at the D-line. They get Jonah Tavai back in the lineup. Didn't play against Edmonton. They got banged up on defense against the Elks. And Ben Haladik is dressed but not going to start in the middle. Ace Ely out of Georgia Tech gets the start there, as does Varga at Sam linebacker. And there's Patrice Rene. And I think right now Zach Kolaris is looking at that middle of the field to see what they're going to do with the young safety back there.
Second down for Winnipeg. Kolaris on the run. Pressure coming. Just decides to throw that one away. 3 BC Lions barreling in on him.
Yeah, veteran decision on second down. Don't take the loss. Try to keep that field position advantage with your punt team coming out next. But that pocket collapsed pretty quickly. And having said that, Patrice Rene actually came up and jumped Dembski, which was his primary target over the middle.
Emerson Sheen to work for the first time today. Hammers it away from just inside his own 25. Williams waits, takes it. 48-yard kick returns just shy of the 40.
But the way it went down in Atlanta, the suddenness of it, I think that was a bit of a tipping point for him. He did have some other teams reach out, but the thought at the time was maybe he's a training camp arm. Maybe he's fighting for a practice roster spot. He just didn't want to do that again. He wanted to grow, and quite frankly, as much as anything else, he wanted to enjoy the game. He said his wife, Emily, had to remind him this is not football's fault. Sometimes the business puts you in the wrong opportunity, but once he contacted the Lions, there was a comfort there. He took the team and the entire league by surprise. Nobody expected this to happen around the league. Everybody was hoping to potentially talk to him at the end of the season, but here he is. And immediately he began practicing with the intention that he was going to be the starter this week. A couple things. Alex Hollins and Justin McInnes didn't practice much at the start of the week, so he's really only had one full practice with them as he looks to build chemistry, but he is just happy to have practice reps and play right now.
Yeah, it's good to see him back on a field wherever it is, and it's right here at BC Place.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he got tired, as Farhan mentioned, of the politics more than anything. But there was one of the big reasons for him returning to Vancouver was his trust with the coaching staff.
Pitches is out, Stanback pushing ahead. Cranby had a line on him, but Stanback blows by him, and he picks up the first down.
And one of the reasons he can start this quickly after 1 week of practice is he knows Jordan Maximic's playbook. He knows the offense. He knows what Jordan likes to do, what he likes to call, what he called for Nathan back in 2022. And, you know, he trusts he and Rick Campbell. And I will also add, Rick Campbell made it clear to everyone in the organization they wouldn't do this without Vernon Adams being part of the equation. In other words, this was not going to happen if the idea was to bring Nathan Rourke in and then trade Vernon Adams. Vernon Adams was an MOP consideration for the first 5 weeks of the season. I mean, he was the front runner. I know that's early, but he was lights out great. So, and then he got injured, and he's still injured. still going to be out, so the timing worked there. But they're going to be great teammates, just because of the type of people they are.
There's a Grey Cup right here in Vancouver, and the Lions want to be there. One of the ways you can do it is with two outstanding quarterbacks on the roster. Here's Rourke. Look out, and he's taken back down. Welcome back to Nathan Rourke. It's your old friend Willie Jefferson as he gets there for his 5th sack of the season.
Yeah, and I think it was 3-man pressure, it looked like to me, and that's why I highlighted Willie Jefferson, because he's starting to accumulate those stats again. He was playing well, but not getting the stats in their first 4 games. But that's that big chopping motion with the right arm there across the shoulder of Rourke. Didn't even see him coming.
Winnipeg defense doing Winnipeg defense types of things. They've been outstanding for the last 3 games. Whitehead on the return. 53-yard kicks. Drop back on a short return to the far sideline.
Girls, Kelly B. Riley, Holly J. Come on down to Winnipeg, baby.
5 sacks.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
5 knockdowns.
Happy birthday, Grandma. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. You see, I'm here working.
3 tackles for a loss. And he's been outstanding this season.
Yeah, and that's all been in the last 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. So yeah, he's accumulating those stats again. But he's a one-man wrecking crew. We've seen it so many times, so many knockdowns at the line of scrimmage. Just your tackles better be on point playing against Willie.
Polaris out to his right. Gets it to his running back, Brady Oliveira, who's got a first down before Ace Healy forced him out of bounds.
Small little subtle move here with a little pump fake to Lucky Whitehead. He's got 2 receivers as he rolls out here, Zach Collaros. Little play action inside, but then you see that little pump. That pump just freezes the linebacker in chase, freezes the DB a little bit, and doesn't allow him to get out there to Brady Oliveira in time to affect the throw.
They got Zach on the run out to his right a couple of times already here in the first quarter. It ticks down, 90 seconds remaining in the opening 15. Morris, far side, Dembski, wide open. He'll take it up to midfield, and he lowers a shoulder into Adrian Green. Ouch.
Dembski's this out, but there's another one coming from the other side of the field that holds Adrian Green. So when you drop into a zone, yeah, you see that out coming. There's Adrian Green there, but there's another one coming. See the middle one? There was a middle crossing route that held him closer to the middle, didn't allow him expand. Zach Collaros reads it immediately and gets it out there.
That was Josh Johnson as the bit of a decoy. Fresh set of downs for the BC 52 now. Collaros, Dembski again, almost picked off. Green popped it up. Rene couldn't get there to take it away.
Well, looks great to see Adrian Green compete and battle. I mean, this is, you've seen a couple of catches now by Dembski on Adrian Green. Clearly a target that Collaros wants to go after, and he stepped up and made a play down the seam. Patrice Rene had a chance at that tip.
Zach's already at 118 yards. That would have been a big chunk. Some pressure now. Collaros, can he get it away? No! Taken down. Is that Tehema again? It is. Sione Tehema.
Working on Stanley Bryan. He's right up here. It looks like it's just going to be 3-man pressure, but they end up sending a couple extras, including Bolacombo. So Bolacombo's in the face of Collaros with Tehema coming from the backside. And Collaros doesn't see the backside pressure.
Good shit, fellas.
3 sacks coming into this game. 2 more in the first quarter for Tehema. Final play of the first quarter will be a punt from Jamison Sheen. End over end. Waiting for it over there. Berryhill fumbles. Ball pops out in the battle for it on the far side. Who's got it? Winnipeg ball. The Bombers take advantage of a bobble from Berryhill.
advanced data feeds of the CFL all season long.
I'm a fan. I want to see this more often.
Subscribe now and start streaming.
Second quarter action coming up. Winnipeg on top, 7-0 over the BC Lions. A pretty nice quarter.
Well, I think
Winnipeg
both,
Blue
yeah,
Bombers.
offense, defense, and special teams. I think they dominated that first quarter, and that's reflected in the score, reflected in the numbers.
We are going to get another look at it here. It looked like there was going to be a turnover on special teams right at the end of the first quarter, but let's get another look at this.
Yeah, you take a look, and does the ground, knee down there, does the turf make him fumble? Is he down by contact? And I believe he is. And in fact, it will be BC ball. See, elbow touched, and the knee was already down.
So it would have been great field position for the Bombers. But BC will get it. Winnipeg's defense in their last 3 games, allowing on average 11.7 points per game.
Haven't allowed a major in 2 games.
And shut out the Lions 5 quarters in a row. Nice pickup on first down from Stanbeck.
Just take a look at what they've done. I mean, the last 2 games, first downs allowed 8. The Lions, on average, the Lions had 4 in 1 game. Like,
their lowest total since 1954.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I mean, this defense is shutting the door.
Stanback busts through that door this time, takes it out beyond the 40. Only needed a couple for a first down, and he gets much more.
Often when you see an offense start to struggle or struggle in the first quarter, they go right to the run game to try and get their feet underneath them. And that starts up front, get that push and get guys getting off the ball and going to attack rather than sitting back in pass pro.
Lions will work from their own 42. Stanback out to the left. Rourke in the pocket. That's where he goes. He finds his running back being watched by Big Hill over there. And he'll step out of bounds. It'll be a second and manageable for the Lions.
Boy, I'm watching Willie Jefferson on that last ball. Big Hill looks like he's got an issue.
Is he reaching back to his hamstring?
To that right hamstring, yeah.
Try to stretch it out here. And athletic therapists out to chat with him.
Our discussions with Nathan Rourke leading into this game, he brought up Adam Big Hill when we hadn't asked about Adam Big Hill. There's, you see in Big Hill was trying to get out there to the flat to protect against that throw, and he pulled up a little bit there. But he mentioned Big Hill and how the Bombers have used Big Hill and moved him around at a lot of different spots. Of course, he's the leader of the group, not just of their defense, but their entire team.
Shane Gauthier in to replace him as Big Hill heads to the Bombers sideline. Is what the Lions need for another first down. They'll give it to Stanback, pushing ahead, and then falling forward gets him a fresh set.
Diedrich Nichols, I believe, came up to help on this play from the secondary. There he is, number 1 right there, and he sees it's going to be a little bit of RPO action with that handoff or fake handoff up the middle, and then quarterback continues out. But
Stanback again, makes a great move, and he's got another first down. This is the drive of William Stanback. He's over 60 yards already on the ground in this game.
Great vision here to get to that B gap. There's the A gap and then the B gap. And if he can get to that B gap, he sees the opening there. Good vision up front, little patience to get that kick out block, and away goes.
Winnipeg's defense gives up 108.7 yards per game rushing. That's the most in the league. Taking advantage of it now. Here's Rourke. Near side, almost intercepted. Tyrell Ford was right underneath that one, but couldn't bring it home.
What a campaign he's putting together. Tyrell Ford leads their team in interceptions. Had one against the Lions a couple weeks ago and almost has his 4th here. And I asked Coach O'Shea about just the evolution of number 30, Tyrell Ford, and he says he makes adjustments within the game to make himself better. Real cerebral player. He gets out there, he sees what they're trying to do, how they're attacking, and makes small adjustments that gets him in the right position.
13th overall pick in 2022. 3 interceptions, 4 knockdowns coming into this game. Rourke, passing situation here. A ton of time, and that is intercepted. It's Dietrich Nichols on the other side of the field, and he'll take it back to midfield. 2nd interception of the year for Nichols, and the Bombers defense gets the ball back.
Compare prices for the same hotel and save up to $50 a night. Hotel Trivago.
Thursday Night Football presented by New York Fries is going down next week between the Rough Riders and the Argos. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on TSN. Nice way to start the week.
Defense stepping up again for the Bombers. Dietrich Nichols wants to try to keep pace with his teammate Tyrell Ford.
10-yard misconduct penalty against Keon Hatcher, moves the ball up the field a bit, and now Brady Oliveira will take over, and he's got a 1st down.
Alexander Hollins is the intended target on this play. He's going to run what's called a bang route. He goes in the middle, and then he's going to bang back out like that, and just doesn't get out of that turn very quickly. That allows Dietrich Nichols to jump this one. You'll see him come into your screen right there. He sees the bang route, and then he wanted to go back towards the sideline. He just jumps inside that one, and lots of time for Nathan Rourke to throw that football. Just a great play by Dietrich Nichols.
Needing a little bit more urgency from Hollins there too, maybe?
Well, he can, put his foot in the ground and bust out to that bang.
It is called the bang route. Bang back out. Now they'll dump it off. Ontario Wilson for the first time today. Lost his helmet. He's been outstanding for about a month.
Well, that's what I mean about the Bombers being back. I mean, they lose Dalton Schoen. They lost Kenny Lawler after game 1. They had an injured Brady Oliveira playing in the first 4 games of the season. They were 0-4 to start the season, and then Wilson steps up. Newcomer to the lineup and fills one of those holes.
2nd and 7, Kolaris, and that one misses. Had to get rid of it. There's some pressure eventually closing in on him, and Lawler could not get back to that ball.
Ace Ely, he's playing for Holatic. He played a little bit in their last game against Edmonton. He's going to come on the pressure, number 41. There's that A gap. He's coming up to take up a block, and I think that's what Kolaris felt. He could feel that pocket starting to collapse, so he pressed it out there to Lawler and just missed him.
.42-yard attempt for Castillo. 82.4% on the season, and that one is up, and it is off the uprights. A doink from Sergio.
Get medium one-topping pan pizzas for $11.99 at Domino's.
Oh, there's a look at 2 all-star caliber quarterbacks, which could lead to an awkward situation, but apparently it has not. For more on that, let's send it down to Farhan.
Dustin, the morning that Nathan Rourke signed with the Lions, I sent a text over to Vernon Adams, and he responded with, well, we could use him. He's a baller. I'm all right. Everything will be fine, which was an amazing response for a guy that said the season he has and would have every reason to be better, or bitter, I should say, but he really does care about the team first, and he's really evolved as a person. And he said to me, he goes, if this happened 5 years ago when I was in Montreal, I would not have been mature enough to handle this. I probably would have gone on Twitter. I would have said the wrong things. And he says, I've been through this before. He talks about Danny Machocha and the approach he took when Nathan went through this the last time. And he really appreciates that Machocha kept him in the loop and gave him every opportunity to help decide his own future, and that's happened here. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to be a part of this team, and he also knows at some point he's going to get a chance to start and play again, so he wants to handle all of this the right way. It's not fake. This is genuine. He means it.
All I can think about is I want a better look at that T-shirt underneath there. Open that thing up. Look at all those quarterbacks.
Well, just you think about his sort of June and July, Vernon Adams. I mean, he was playing as well as any quarterback in the last 10 years.
We were talking about him being on a 6,000-yard pace for the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season, and then the injury, and now Rourke here, but they both seem very united to just make the BC Lions as good as they possibly can.
Yeah, just make them better players and are a better team, and it certainly does, and it's been well documented that there's been many championship teams that have won with 2 all-star caliber quarterbacks.
1st and 10 for the Lions from their own 46. Back on the ground, steady diet of Stanback so far today. That's his 9th carry.
Here's what I mean about June and July. I mean, this is what we were talking about with VA. I mean, averaging almost 400 yards passing a game. And look at the touchdown interception ratio. He was chucking it down the field in a big way. That was double any close quarterback in the league and was 4-0 at that time. And so he knows. And I think they're going to need them both all year. And quick story about VA. When they come back from the road, this is the type of guy he is. He'll ask the equipment man if he needs help with the laundry.
So he doesn't like having a lot of free time. Flag back by the quarterback. Completion up to Eberhardt.
Well, and I say that because that's the type of guy he is. He's a team guy to the
Holding
core.
BC number 59. The 10-yard penalty will replay the 2nd down.
It's the right tackle, Kent Perkins.
Like a team guy to the core. So this is a star quarterback on pace for 6,000 yards. They get off the bus after a road trip, and he goes to the equipment guy. Need help with the laundry? And he's serious. It's not a joke. He's
the
like,
equipment guy goes, yes, I do. He'll be like, okay, I'll fold.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I'll fold. Like, I mean, it's whatever it takes to make the team better, and it's the type of person he is. And Nathan's the same way.
Second and 18. After the penalty, Rourke in trouble again. Look out, trying to escape, and he does. Rourke on the run, he's got to keep it now. And he's eventually taken down just beyond the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage by Tony Jones.
One of the things that Nathan Rourke is going to have to get back into the groove with is the speed, and not necessarily, you know, he did play some reps in the preseason in the NFL on a few teams, but you know, getting 3 or 4 reps is not understanding the full speed of pro football, and not just the speed of his receivers and how that happens, but the speed of the defense around him, how quick they close.
Whitehead takes it at the 10, trying to kick it to the outside for 1 tackle.
Golden and crispy. Well, consider the secret out. Get medium 1-topping pan pizzas for $11.99 at Domino's.
Welcome back to Vancouver, where we've got 2 of our favorite stats guys celebrating birthdays today. Steve Daniel and Johnny Russin right up next to us here in the booth. 2 of them best in the biz, and happy birthday to both of those guys.
Hall of Famer on your right there, and yes, Johnny Russin, our
happy birthday, Johnny.
Happy birthday, buddy. Our cracked stats man here sitting right to our left and filling us the information. Just slide it over there. Doesn't matter what it is. Yards after the catch, catching yards, rushing yards by Oliveira. We get it immediately from these guys. Happy birthday, guys.
Both of them turning 40 today on their special birthday.
Really? Is that what they told you?
Those are the numbers they gave me. What am I supposed to do? I read everything they say. Nice pick up there for Brady Oliveira.
Yeah, I mentioned off the top, the Lions do not want to see Brady Oliveira with the helmet slap.
No, you don't want to get him when you're eating, when he's feeding.
Yeah,
what they say.
When he gets the helmet slap going, that means he's closing in on 100 and they're rolling on the ground.
From the Winnipeg 19, back to Brady again. Ace Ely met him that time, but still picked up probably about 4 yards on that first down carry.
Lars had the big drive right out of the gate. 8 plays, 93 yards, and the Lions defense made some adjustments here.
Yeah, he had 86 passing yards on that first drive. Now he's at 121, so they slowed him down a bit. Defensive battle here between the Lions and the Bombers. Great crowd in Vancouver today. Boris, Lawler, and Lawler went back for it. Got enough. It's going to be really close depending on where this ball is spotted.
TJ Lee decides to play off on this. The veteran defensive back, he's going to take away the inside in that back pedal. And because of Lawler's downfield ability, he's got to give him a little bit of room there.
This is 3rd and about inches. Strevler into the game. Doesn't need much. Any sort of positive push ahead would be enough. First time we've seen Strevler today. Flags on the play as he tries to push it ahead. He got what he needed. We'll sort out this flag on the near side. BC saying it's against Winnipeg. And we believe it is. It's going to be against Winnipeg.
Offside, Winnipeg, number 89. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Let's take a look. He's okay right now. He's okay. He's falling into the neutral zone.
That's a tough one when you really don't have anything to do with the play. First game back, played in week 1 and not since.
It's a way on run. Just stop. Dead stop. Instead of fucking doing this.
Kick it away. Low kick, driving. It's going to bounce. Williams hustles over. Stops it at the 35. Williams spinning away. Missed about 4 tacklers there. They eventually get down and wrap him up. Well, this week, the entire CFL community is mourning the loss of longtime coach Dan D'Orazio. D'Orazio coached in Calgary for 5 years, winning 2 Grey Cups before moving on to become the BC Lions offensive line coach for 15 seasons, winning 2 more championships there. Also had stints in Saskatchewan and Toronto, coached multiple All-Stars on the offensive line as well. Big cheer when they celebrated him here earlier at BC Place today as well. Nice show of support.
You know, and ask any offensive lineman that worked with Coach D'Orazio, and they will tell you how much they appreciated that he was a mentor, a father figure to them. I'll tell you a quick story about Dan D'Orazio working with the offensive line that was getting too many holding calls. So he went into practice and he got them all to wear oven mitts.
Can't hold.
You couldn't grab when you had oven mitts on in practice, and it helped to turn the corner. But just beloved, and our condolences to Dan's wife Lisa, the entire family and friends, and all the guys that he coached. And great coach, but a better person. Will be missed.
Finished with a smoky barbecue seasoned crust. So delicious your cravings will have cravings. Only $11.99 at Little Caesars.
Bacon, bacon.
Lions are wondering, what do we have to do to get a point against these Bombers? It's been almost 6 quarters now that they've had shutout football. You like that, Matty, huh? You like that?
Nice.
We'll talk a little Nathan Rourke. We'll talk some Winnipeg offense and all that good stuff at halftime.
Dude, that was money.
Well, you might want to just talk about the Bombers defense. Shutting out the BC Lions here for almost 6 quarters. They're about to get the ball back here, so it'll be unlikely that BC puts any points on the board. That hits the scoreboard. It comes bouncing down at the 35. Flintoff hammered that right straight into the Jumbotron here at BC Place.
The kick hit the scoreboard, which is pretty odd. We're going to redo everything. We'll redo the play. We'll reset the clock to 2:44 with a new 20-second clock. It's just a redo.
Ben Major just saying what we're all thinking.
I love it. That's great. Ben Major, way to go. Call of the year from the officials.
Hit the scoreboard, which is pretty odd. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that thing, I mean, if that scoreboard wasn't there, that would have gone another 20, 30 feet higher. He smashed that thing.
Yeah, and you don't want like all the players to not know where the ball is and all of that stuff. So they'll play the play over again.
I want to see it get caught up there like a basketball, and they have to reach up with a stick, try to knock it down. All right, Flintoff, this one not near as high, bouncing in there to the chest of Whitehead, and he'll hang on. 37-yard kick that time. And Collaros will take to the field with 2:26 from the clock and a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, both defenses are playing well in this one. After that first drive for Collaros, the Lions defense made some adjustments. Remarkable what the Bomber defense has been doing. 35 possessions now without giving up a point. 35 offensive possessions. Wow. You can play with confidence on offense. You don't have to worry. Your defense will come in and give them nothing.
Lots of time for Collaros. He'll get it to Lucky Whitehead, and he's got a first down. Takes it out beyond the 50.
Former BC Lion, former teammate of Nathan Rourke. They got together before the game, said hello, and I think it was Patrice Rene who said hello here, but Lucky Whitehead was like, no worries, keep churning for another 4.
He bounced off that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's returning now, but they're still going to want to mix him into the offense a little bit.
Well, Lawler came back in and took that spot back.
Collaros. Trouble trying to get away. Throws it ahead to Brady Oliveira. And Oliveira takes it back just shy of the original line of scrimmage. Zach with a little bit of magic to avoid a significant loss on the play.
Well, as long as it's forward, it's a forward pass. It can be underhand, but it's a forward pass if it goes forward. So if we go down as a completion after all of that, I think it was Varga who had a chance at him.
And TJ Lee was back there as well. Ends up being a loss of 2, so it's a 2nd and 12. 4 options. Wide side right. Pressure coming. Got it away. Densky's able to hang on. They'll be stopped shy of the first down. That was TJ Lee again. Zach got that away just in time.
Coming right at you. That was an accurate throw, because if it wasn't, Bola Combo was taking it the other way. But you're right, the pressure, quick throw. Zach knew it was short of the first down, but if Dembski can make one miss, you never know.
Now BC will get the ball back. About a minute to play. Jamison Sheet waits. Williams and Berryhill both back on their 10 to return this for the Lions. Williams slides to his left underneath it. 42-yard kick. Williams finds a little bit of space, but tripped up just before the 25. That was a big-time tackle from Benson. Looked like Williams was starting to ramp things up a bit, wasn't he?
I tell you what, I think he had something. He definitely had something. If Benson doesn't make this tackle, and it was a shoestringer. This cut here, there's not much back there. That's basically the last chance. Tyrell Ford may have tried to catch him from behind, but that was a big tackle.
So Rourke and the Lions will start here on their own 25. Stanback out to the right of his quarterback. Rourke down the field, almost intercepted in the direction of Hollins, and that was Terrell Bonds who had him locked down.
There's a couple now attempted to Alexander Hollins that have almost, one was picked off and one almost picked off there. Terrell Bonds had a better chance at it.
Hollins kind of got back to play defense, essentially. Didn't
defense against it.
Second and 10. Rourke looking for Hollins again, and that is intercepted on the other side of the field. It's Ford, and he'll take it all the way back for the pick six. Bombers late in the half take it away and take it back. There is a flag on the field.
Flag came after Ford had the ball in his hands.
After the interception is holding Winnipeg number 33. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Winnipeg.
Take a look. This is, it looks like he's trying to make a timing throw to the wide field here. To the wide field. He looks backside first, then comes back late to it. Terrell Ford just jumps at, cuts underneath. There's the holding right there with Tony Jones. That takes the 6 points off the board, but not the interception. Number 4, and Tyrell Ford almost had one in the first quarter.
So Ford and Nichols with interceptions of Rourke in the first half. This one could end up putting points on the board as they take over on the 41. Colares, Lawler with speed, and he'll take it out just shy of the first down marker.
I love you. I do it every week.
I mean, he's not far off. He doesn't do it every week, but he does it lots of weeks.
Yeah, and had one against BC a couple weeks ago.
Colares would love to punch one into the end zone here. Give themselves an even bigger cushion heading into the room at the half. Give it to Brady Oliveira. Oliveira has enough. That will be a first down for Winnipeg with 22 seconds on the clock.
You got to manage the clock here now and make sure you don't lose the chance for at least 3 in field goal range. Against the Lions all time, he's 12-4. Nice completion percentage, over 4,000 yards passing, and touchdown interceptions off the hook rate.
Best winning percentage he has against any team in the league. Now he's going to look to the end zone. Kenny Lawler! No way! Oh, almost. He went down working on Gary Peters, and it's batted away with 6 seconds on the clock, and Castillo will come out to attempt the field goal.
You just sort of expect it, don't you, when it's 89 on these deep throws, these Kenny Lawler jump balls. He's going to come down with it more than he's not. Now, that's a veteran out there in Gary Peters. Now, Lawler gets inside position. That's why I thought he had the best chance out of it. But Peters with the right hand punches the ball out. He doesn't grab first. All-star against all-star.
Wow.
Peters wins that battle, but they'll be back.
Great play by Peters.
Oh, yeah.
Castillo hit the upright earlier. This one from 38. That is up. That is through. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have a 10-0 lead on the road, which is a place they have not won all season.
But on that sudden change with the interception by Tyrell Ford, BC defense steps up with a big play to not allow the major and a whole bunch of momentum for the Bombers going into
that. That would have been huge.
Yeah,
Either way, obviously the flag brought back the pick 6. That would have been big, and then Winnipeg's offense can't find a way. But 6 straight quarters of shutout football by the Bombers defense against the BC Lions.
And fair to say, in the Canadian Football League, with the difference in the rules, a little rust on Nathan Rourke.
5 of 14, 47 yards, and 2 interceptions as he tries to get back into a groove.
Yeah, just some timing issues, but
final play of the half. Rourke's gonna heave one down the field, looking for McInnes, and that's batted away by Ford. And that'll do it for the first half, and Winnipeg's defense so impressive once again.
Unbelievable. This is a stretch of 3 games now that is just
100 days without playing in a game start to finish. The good news is that his team is still certainly within striking distance, trailing by just 10. Now Winnipeg will get the ball to start this third quarter, and we'll see if it's Brady Oliveira only had 4 carries in the first half, so he's got a lot of juice left if they want to go heavy with the run. BC's lost 3 in a row, trying to avoid the 4-game slide and falling back to 500 on the season. Winnipeg, big uphill climb after their start. Augustine takes it, his first return of the game, and Augustine tripped up, falls just outside the 30. Here's a look at Zach Collaros in the first half.
Well, Collaros played 8 games this year, and he said after hearing all the talk all week about Nathan Rourke and the quarterback for the BC Lions, he just went to work in his very first drive of the game when 8 plays, 93 yards, over 4 minutes for the major. He found his #1 target in Nick Dembski a couple times. That was the touchdown, and they got Lawler involved early as well.
54 yards for Lawler in the first half, 51 for Dembski. And they'll move him out to the right, wide open down the field, Ontario Wilson. And Wilson takes it all the way up to midfield. And a big strike early in the third quarter for Collaros and the Bombers.
Well, they've got both Brady Oliveira and Augustine in the same backfield. There's Oliveira, there's Augustine, so they're going to now run with basically 2 Canadian backs, little play action to Augustine, Oliveira in the flat, and what do? Go backside to Wilson on the trailing. That's a good throw going against the grain for Collaros.
Ryder Varga with the tackle. Oliveira doesn't get it. They'll give it to Dembski instead, and Dembski's got a first down. And Winnipeg moving smoothly here to start the half.
So many things that the Bombers can do offensively with misdirection. They got Dembski, who can run the fly sweep and has done that a ton of times, or push to the flat like he did on that play, off the play action of Brady Oliveira going the opposite direction. When you have a back that draws that much attention, Buck Pierce can just attack the perimeter with different looks.
This time they'll just give it to Brady. Sidesteps the first tackler and pushes his way through. Will end up being stopped a few yards shy of a first down.
Yeah, this is another of a very similar look. So if you're playing defense, you saw this one to Dembski, and this time they go to Brady Oliveira. So it's exactly the same look, basically. Dembski out to the flat, but this time Oliveira hits the middle with the ball, and now you're almost guessing defensively. Which guy we got to try to knock down the outside, but that opens up holes in the middle. And now they're in short yardage, I guess.
Yeah, it's second and like a long 3, but they brought Strevler in. Well, they'll operate him
more than manageable
out of the shotgun with Brady to his right, and they'll give it to Oliveira, and he'll be stopped short of the first down, but that'll bring up third and about a yard, and Strevler will stay right out there.
Yeah, not bad to run sort of an option style offense with a tough runner like Strevler, knowing that if you're the head coach and Michael O'Shea, you know that you're going to go for it on third down anyway. I don't think he likes the spot he got there. Because this is 2 yards. They only got 1 yard on that last play.
It's almost a full 2 here. It's very close. It's just shy of the full 2 yards. Strevler, though, staying out there, trying to push ahead. He strips. Turnover on downs. I don't think he got there. Oh, in that spot, it's not even close. BC Lions defense keeps them off the field.
Future where you grew a dream into a reality. The all-new GoDaddy Aero. Put your business online in minutes with the power of AI.
This is a short yardage play that they just got stopped on. That's Stanley Bryant in the middle, gets a good takeoff, but watch the hesitation from Strevler. And then Bryant, just as he's going forward, lifts his leg up and trips his quarterback.
Turnover on downs. And what was a drive where they were cruising down the field. Adam Bighill not out there. He's going to miss the remainder of the game, we've been told. That one goes nowhere. McInnes looking back towards Rourke. Let's take a look at Rourke's first half.
Yeah, take a look, because it was a lot of issues. One drop there, but timing was a little bit off. Cotoy couldn't reel that one in, and then you had some pressure from Willie Jefferson, trying to get used to the speed, and that was late in the first half when Tyrell Ford took it to the house, but a penalty brought back the touchdown.
2nd and 10, and they'll run it with Stanback. And Stanback pushing ahead. You don't see many runs on 2nd and 10. He got about 8.5.
But is that enough, or will Rick Campbell decide to kick this away?
With the way the Winnipeg defense has been playing. Oh, and they're gonna go for it. Wow. Mackey comes out. He handles the short yardage, or he has been, at least.
I think Rick Campbell just feeling the flow and thinking, we got to make something happen. We got to.
3rd and a short 2.
Can't play conservative down by 10. Let's make something happen. Yeah, no, I'd kick it away.
Yeah.
For me, I'd kick it away. Don't get me wrong.
Mackey's got it. Mackey gets the job done. Of course it was the right call.
No, hey, Dustin, don't get me wrong. I mean, honestly, I would have kicked it away and played the field position game. Allow your defense to go out and try and get a stop. But I just, the flow of this game and needing some kind of spark, the Lions need it. They need to get this crowd involved. Over 30,000 here in BC Place, and I think Rick Campbell probably felt that way and said, let's go for it.
That was a great pickup, because that was 3 and a really long 1.5. Yeah. It wasn't 3rd and inches, and they got it. So fresh set, 1st and 10 from the 44. Rourke in the pocket, got hit as he throws, and that ends up in behind McInnes. Jake Thomas getting in there, and Rourke showing some frustration as he gets up. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, because he thought he had Justin McInnes, who had separated on this crossing route. He's at the top corner of your screen, but we'll watch Rourke, because the timing of the pocket, just needing to throw it a step earlier, that hit, and the throw is an errant one in behind McInnes, who was open on the crossing route.
They'll need 10 yards here. And they're going to run it with Stanback again. This time it goes absolutely nowhere. I think Tony Jones was kind of waiting for him there.
Yeah, fooled me once, right? You know, if you're gonna run the ball on 2nd and 10 in the CFL, fool me once maybe, but not a second time. He was moving forward on the snap of the ball, playing the play. Tony Jones stepping in.
So yeah, good job getting.
Third tackle
Wilson,
of the game for Jones. And BC will have to kick it away again. Flintoff hangs this one up there. Whitehead takes it far side. Cannot escape. Don't miss the return of a global phenomenon critics call thrilling and endlessly captivating. HBO's House of the Dragon. The new season streaming now only on Crave. That's the show where they fight with dragons.
Oh, man. Big time. You're following along, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're in it.
Yeah, a couple episodes behind because, you know, being gone every weekend in the Canadian Football League, but we'll get through it. 10-0 Winnipeg leads. Claris, empty backfield. Ontario Wilson comes back to the ball. keep him going, and with Lawler back, and you still got Dembski. That's a nice 1-2-3 punch.
Well, and it's a nice route. I mean, this is a timing throw on a curl, and Wilson comes out of his break as Zach sees. Look at that throwing lane. Great blocking up front. Eric Lofton takes his man wide, opens up the throwing lane right to Wilson.
3 catches on 3 targets for 43 yards for Ontario Wilson. Now they'll get it to Lucky Whitehead. He's got some blocks up in front of him, trying to turn it back upfield. And he's crushed just shy of the 45, but that'll keep a defense honest. Mix him in there.
Keeps him honest, but I also like that Lucky Whitehead, guys like Lucky want to use their speed, and they want to make people miss, and they want to, you know, throw as many moves as you can on tacklers. But Lucky is experienced enough to know sometimes you just got to lower your pad level and get what you can after that initial run. And he got about 3 or 4, then lowered his pad level, took some hits, and got another 2.
Well, and kept that football secure as well. They'll move him over to the right this time. Collaros with pressure, dumps it over the top, just enough on it. And he's able to find Kevin Clorsius. Second catch of the game for the big receiver.
Late rush here, coming off the edge right here, and it gets right in Zach Collaros' face. And he somehow just kind of jump throws this. He just gets up and gives it just enough to get there in front of Ely. Ace Ely almost has that, but a little jump throw, like a point guard.
Zach is 3 for 3 on this drive. 225 yards through the air so far. That one just past Clorsius, was looking for him again. Ely was lurking around there, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was a great shot of Buck Pierce, the offensive coordinator. And I was thinking right when we looked at Buck Pierce, I was thinking, you know, you don't coach what Zach just did on that last play. When he had a guy right in his face, he jumps in the air, he just gets it to his receiver down the field in Wilson and gets him in a first down. And sometimes it's the play call and the scheme that gets it done, and sometimes it's just the quarterback's athleticism.
And Collaros 5-10 more yards here. Lions are going to bring some heat. Zach down the field, dropping it in there for Dembski, and he's got it again. Working against Rugamba, but it didn't matter. In a bucket for Dembski from the hands of Zach Collaros.
Yeah, and it was good coverage from Rugamba, but the throw is just, you can't cover sometimes any better, and yet the throw beats you. I mean, he's right on that outside shoulder, but that throw pulled Dembski to the sideline, kept it away from Rugamba, and dropped it in that bucket. Look at even his offensive line is impressed with that one. Hey, that was really good.
Did you win the MLB twice?
Yes. Yeah.
Dembski's got 102 yards. That's his first 100-yard receiving game of the season. Bombers looking for more. Collaros to Oliveira, almost intercepted off the fingertips of Oliveira, and Ely could not get underneath it.
The last jump throw was to a receiver. This jump throw here was to a tailback. And tailback, not quite. I mean, Brady Oliveira is great out of the backfield, don't get me wrong, but a little high, hard for him to handle.
Brady Oliveira, almost 300 yards receiving this season. Over 600 on the ground. Has not scored a touchdown yet this year. Now they get it to Lucky. Whitehead, far side, near side rather. And he's taken down shy of the first down. But how shy is he?
It's on the 11, the marker. We got right to the marker. Different type of, it's a different throw. It's a different type of play when it's a guy like Lucky Whitehead on a crosser like that. You're throwing it about 3 or 4 yards, but you know he can make it happen after he gets the ball in his hands.
Streveler in on a 3rd and 1. They came up short last time. Bumping into the feet of Stanley Bryant. A look to avoid that here. Needs a yard, pushing it ahead, and he's got that yard. He'll take it down to the 10, and that'll be a first down for Winnipeg.
No doubt there.
Strevler does his job this time. Kolaris will trot back out to the offense with Ontario Wilson also rejoining this group.
You're seeing the difference of a team that has been through the battle together through the last 3 or 4 weeks and how coordinated their offense looks, how the timing looks bang on. And like you said, a former MOP quarterback at the controls that has been working with this offense all season long, and the speed versus the opposite with Nathan coming in just a week away.
Far side, Dembski gets around one man, down to the 5, trying to push his way towards the end zone, but he will be stopped short.
This time, Kolaris had to change his ankle. It looked like Dembski's a little bit slow to get up. Dembski's the trailer here. Ace Ely gets right in the face of Kolaris, who kind of throws it around Ely. That's what pulls Dembski back, but that also gives him a chance to make
it. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on TSN.
So Brady Oliveira still looking for his first rushing touchdown of the season. Dembski looks like he'll be okay. He walked off under his own power. Let's take a look. Is it Brady Oliveira time?
Well, Strevler's in there right now as they work from the BC 3. It's a second and goal. Strevler looking for the end zone. Did not get it. Stopped just shy.
Yeah, as soon as you go to empty, that takes any run threat from the tailback away. And yeah, off the left side, short of the goal line.
They'll do it again. Strevler, 6 touchdowns on the season. Looking for his 7th. He's got it. Touchdown Winnipeg, and the Bombers go on top by 16 on the road here in Vancouver.
On the 3rd and 2, he got tripped up by Stanley Bryant, and on these 2 plays, he went right behind Stanley Bryant both times. Said, don't worry about that one, let's go. He knows what he's got there at that left tackle spot. Of course, they loaded up with 2 extra O-linemen to the left of him, but he didn't let that one trip, that one time, deter him from going off that side.
That was a 6-minute drive, 10 plays, 87 yards. Bombers over 25 minutes of possession in this game. BC just 16. And when they played a couple of weeks ago, it was almost 42 minutes. Well, Lucky Whitehead back in BC as a member of the Bombers. Very good relationship with Nathan Rourke. For more on that, let's send it down to Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, Lucky Whitehead in his last couple of years in BC was known for his arrivals here to BC Place Stadium. He'd show up with his dogs, on a motorcycle, on a horse, anything he could do to entertain. In fact, the Lions gave him the opportunity to do that today as a member of the visiting team. The Bombers weren't really interested in that. Whitehead, meanwhile, says he's happy to be back here playing again, even if it's primarily as a returner. He said throughout his career, he's always wanted to return, but it takes a lot out of you, and coaches haven't necessarily been on board. And he still maintains a close relationship with Nathan Rourke, as you mentioned. In fact, when he scored against the Lions back in Winnipeg a couple of weeks ago, Rourke texted him after that game. The two visited before this game, and he says that other than Tony Romo, he believes Rourke is the best quarterback he has ever played with or against.
That's a lot of respect for his close friend. Here's the other returner. This is Williams. And he is tripped up by Halleck.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that head coach Michael O'Shea was not going to let Lucky Whitehead ride in on a horse or whatever else a motorcycle or a Corvette or whatever he was thinking about doing. I just would love to have seen his face when the question came up.
I'm not even sure Lucky would have asked Osh
well,
that, you know?
if he did, I'd love to have seen that expression on Coach O'Shea's face. No, that's not happening.
Nathan Rourke just 5 completed passes in this ball game. Back on the ground to stand back for about 3 yards. Bombers are saying that came out and they haven't. Definitely need another look one way or the other on this.
No indication either way from the officials. They were looking as if it was just going to be 2nd and 6.
It's second down. It's second down.
Yeah. But let's take a look and see if we can find something else. You can see just to the right of Willie Jefferson's leg.
Oh,
the ball comes out of there.
That was out.
Well, was he down though?
I don't think so. I don't think his legs were down. I don't even think he was. I'll have to get another look at it. But yeah, it's being blown down here.
Well, Coach O'Shea is going to challenge after that replay. He thinks like you're thinking. I'm just looking at his knees. I'm not sure one way or another just yet, but now over the last 2 weeks there has been a reboot of the command center.
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling on the last play. They believe the ball was out before the runner was down by contact. The play will be reviewed.
There has been this feeling in the league over the last 4 weeks that the command center was at times getting too involved, and the reboot was to go back to what they originally wanted the command center for back when it started, which was to correct clear and obvious mistakes on the field. So the question and the standard now gets pushed up over the last 2 weeks with this new sort of reboot and mandate. The question is now, does his knee touch before the ball comes out, and whether or not you can see it? I mean,
no,
I'm not sure he can. I don't think his knees were on the ground.
No, his knees were a good 8 inches off the ground. But yeah, who recovered it? We saw it come out, but who had it at the bottom? That's the.
There has to be an immediate recovery, and that was a contentious issue for a couple of weeks in the league. So let's just take a look. I'm with you. That one angle showed that his knees looked like they were up. And is that Gauthier down there?
That's Gauthier, yeah. He's got it underneath him.
There's nothing more immediate than that. If they rule this, it looks like it may be Bomber ball here.
Certainly looked out. Gauthier, from that look on this angle, looked like he was on it first. But we'll see. Bombers defense staying on the field, and the offense is coming back off. Okay, so this is interesting. We'll get the official ruling here.
Yeah, they've clearly got the news that it's going to remain BC ball because they would be switching up. But
all right, Ben Major.
Okay, so
here we go.
Gave additional information to Winnipeg about the fact that the fumble was recovered by BC. Therefore, the challenge is moot. We're giving back the challenge to Winnipeg. It's second down.
All right, so it was a fumble, but it was recovered by BC.
Yeah, and apparently Gauthier was there, part of it, but a simultaneous with the offense. I didn't see the number of the Lion who got there.
Well, it might have still been stand back.
Yeah, exactly, and then that goes back to the offense. So Michael Shea gets his challenge back, but BC ball.
2nd and 7. Rourke takes off. Tracked down from behind, but that's really the first time today that he's decided to take off, and it works.
There's the pressure. This is what flushes him, number 5. up the field in an inside move and then gets up there, tries to look like he goes up to knock down a possible pass, and that's when Rourke escapes.
Lions work from midfield. Down 17. Rourke, deep shot for Hollins. This time he's got it just inside the 20. Hollins' first catch of the day. And the Lions in business.
Well, and Hollins in business too. I mean, 2 of the attempts in Hollins' direction went the opposite way in the first half, and you could tell by the reaction of Alexander Hollins that he needed this. He needs this to exercise some of those demons that's going on in his head right now.
When the play ended, there was 3 seconds left on the clock. So timer, please put 3 seconds back on the clock.
So we'll throw 3 seconds back up. Lions will have a play here. They're in the red zone. From the Winnipeg 16. Rourke waits, looks to the far side, heaves one up. Was it hauled in? No. McInnes did not come down in bounds, they're saying.
Take another look at it for you, because throw is outstanding to the outside shoulder of McInnes. He goes up and wins the jump ball. Does he come down? Just needs 1 foot in bounds. Up in the air, and no.
BC Lions.
With live enhanced data feeds of the CFL all season long.
I'm a fan. I want to see this more often.
Subscribe now and start streaming.
17-0. The Bombers leading the Lions through 3 quarters. What stands out for you?
Well, the time of possession for sure, but you know, I say that the drive is really important for BC for a couple of reasons. One, a potential for points, and I only say potential because of how red hot the Bomber defense has been. They're not in there yet and haven't kicked a field goal yet, so that goose egg stays up there, but it also gives the BC defense a rest, a well-needed rest. Rick Campbell talked to us about that this week, that he feels like his defense, and it works both ways. Offense stays on the field, gives your defense a rest. Defense gets a 2 and out, they get their own rest because they've earned it. So it works both ways. No, there was no blame there. It was just, we're out there too long on defense, and that's one of our issues through this 3-game losing streak.
Well, it would be tough to settle for 3 in this spot, down 17, but still lots of game to go. 2nd and 10 for Rourke. Empty backfield, 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Can he find anybody? Pressure coming from behind, in trouble and taken down. They get to Rourke. Haba back in the lineup. Has his first sack of the season.
Yeah, Celestin Haba gets back in that rotation, and they're happy to have him back. He's going to come from the backside. I mean, he starts down here, and he's going to get up the field, get pushed past the pocket, but doesn't quit. Backside pressure, keep hustling. He's the first guy to make the tackle.
Sean White has hit 45 in a row. Second most in professional football history, and that is up. And that is through. You can give him 46, and the BC Lions have scored points against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, potential points. Until they're done, they're not done. Not against this team. This is a red-hot defense right now over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Bombers shutout streak went for 106 minutes and 5 seconds.
Wow. And, you know, you could make an argument for the Montreal defense being the best in the league. I would say the Bomber defense right now is the hottest in the league. Scratch and claw for 3 points after 3 quarters.
Well, now this BC defense has to get Winnipeg off the field and try to really build on the momentum that they may have possibly just got. Kolaris, 22 22 yards away from a 300-yard game. Brady Oliveira right up the middle. Pushes it ahead for about 4 yards. That's just his 7th carry of the ball game. But this is the time, right? Fourth quarter. He's only had 7 carries. You can really feed him right now.
Yeah, he's fresh. Second and medium here for Collaros. A lot he can do with that misdirection stuff. What does Ryan Phillips have dialed up? Pressure or 3-man rush?
Lions would love to get off the field here. 2nd and 6 for the Bombers. 3 options. Out to the right for Collaros. Looks to the left. Throws to the left, and it's intercepted. Oh, boy, things just got interesting. TJ Lee's first INT of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time for BC.
Updates and search. Compare prices for the same hotel and save up to $50 a night. Hotel Trivago.
TJ Lee can play very aggressively here because this is called a cover 2-man. 2 guys deep to help out on any deep routes, and it allows the man-to-man guys underneath play real tight coverage underneath. So there's TJ Lee playing aggressively, knowing he's got deep help. If receiver Wilson wants to go deep down the field, he's got to help under that. So he crawls underneath that throw. Big interception for the Lions, put their offense back on the field.
Down by 14, got to make the most of this. Rourke fakes the handoff, pressured, in trouble again, spins out of it, still going, eventually they take him down. It was Garbutt who finally finished the job as Rourke tried to stay alive in there.
Didn't like what he saw. He had initial time to look downfield. I think this Bomber secondary just shot it down the field. He has 2, maybe 3 receivers to that side, plus the check down to William Stanback, but not enough time, and looked like they were covered downfield.
Well, what does Maksimic draw up here? 2nd and 14. 5 receivers to the right. Rourke in the pocket gets it away, and that falls incomplete. Ford and Nichols were lurking there, weren't they? Went over their heads, dropped onto the turf.
You know, when you first get back, or you're a young player, it feels like you're standing in the freeway and the cars are flying by you, and it just looks right now that one of the strengths of Nathan Rourke back in 22 was his ability to read the defense quickly and get it out of there. I mean, he is holding the ball way longer tonight than we saw back in 22. Not a surprise because of only 3 practices, but
Whitehead on the return takes it back up.
Forgot that I existed, and it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas, and I'll...
Winnipeg Blue Bombers, another chance to put together a game-sealing drive here, leading 17-3. They could take another 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock. Oliveira stands in to the left of his quarterback, and they'll give it to him. He's got some space, takes it up, lunges ahead, and that will be a first down for Brady Oliveira.
Nice balance from Brady Oliveira there. You know, when you think about what just happened, and it just, again, another indication of just how well the Bomber defense is playing. I mean, an interception by TJ Lee after the field goal for the Lions to get some points on the board, and the defense basically says to Zach Collaros, no problem, it'll be a quick 2 and out, and we'll get you back on the field immediately. And that's exactly how that transpired.
Back to Brady again, and he busts a big one, stays on his feet, he's gonna rumble down inside the 45, and now the 40, before he's eventually taken down. And he is fired up of now, oh, you're in trouble.
Did I see him slap his helmet? When he starts slapping his helmet, you're in trouble on defense.
I think there was a helmet slap there, Suits.
And this is where the time of possession starts to hurt the Lions. That's the first thing that goes on defense when you start getting real tired late in the fourth quarter that you haven't had the ball much, is tackling.
He's up to 76 yards on 9 carries. Probably breathing heavy after that one. There's another dominant time of possession night for the Bombers. Back to Oliveira again. And this time they'll wrap him up after a pickup of about 2. The clock ticks against the BC Lions. Their defense has been hanging in there as much as they possibly can tonight.
Well, they're still in striking range. I mean, you know, with 9 minutes left, there's lots of time in Canadian football. Ryan Phillips' group is hanging in there, and they're keeping the Lions, you know, hanging around at least. Big down here to see which way that goes. Who grabs momentum?
Certainly within field goal range for Castillo. That would restore a 17-point lead. 2nd and 8. They'll empty out. Polaris back to Brady Oliveira. Tackle made. It was a good one by Peters, and that'll bring up 3rd down and a field goal attempt.
Great tackle because he got there quickly. Because if he doesn't get there quickly, Oliveira here can turn and then get that big body going downhill. It's a lot tougher to tackle. We saw him break the tackle of TJ Lee on the previous play, but because Gary Peters went so quickly to that play, cut his legs out from underneath him, and Bombers will go for the field goal, try and get that 3 points back.
43-yarder for Castillo. 1 for 2 so far tonight. That is up. No. Well, Nathan Rourke has returned to the Canadian Football League, and he's gotten a rough ride from the Bombers, hasn't he?
Hottest defense in the league right now, and all due respect to Montreal's group. But yeah, one of the things you get back to playing the first full game is the physical aspect. I mean, every one of those hits, you got to get up and shake them off and remember how that feels and get back and be accurate again on the next down.
Rourke has time down the field. Got it in there. Everhart takes it down inside the 40, and that ball arrived just in the nick of time.
He's almost a little hesitant on that throw too. It's a 4-receiver setup to the backside. Now Justin McInnes doesn't go out on the route, so it becomes just the 3 of them, and Bonds was close.
From the Winnipeg 38 this time, Stanback finds a hole right up the middle, and that looks to be another 1st down for the Lions as they try to quickly put some points on the board and gives themselves a glimmer of hope.
Working against the clock too now.
Down to the Winnipeg 27. Stand back again. And wrapped up there quickly that time by Jamal Woods. Got about 2.5. Try to move it quickly here. Rourke barking out some instructions. 2nd and 8. Season series on the line in this game. Rourke quickly got that one away. It's Couture. Couture is close. This is going to be tight no matter what. They'd be going for it, but.
Well, I'm not sure. You know, with that much time left, if they're not close, you know, if it's 3 yards or so, you may take the points there and make it a 2-possession game again.
Rourke's going to stay in. Mackey's been handling this most of the season, and Rourke will push ahead, takes cover, and picks up the 1st down.
But when you are close, yes, then you for sure are going to go after it.
They have to move quickly here because that clock ticks down towards 5 minutes. Trying to avoid a 4th consecutive loss after what was a 5-1 start. From the Winnipeg 15. Out to Stanback. That's just a bit ahead of him. And it falls incomplete. 2nd and 10.
And some blocking out front. That was basically a wide screen to Stanback more than anything. They had some blocking out front. He's limping himself back to the huddle.
Stanback has 100 yards on 15 carries. That's a season high for him. Previously, it was 87. Rourke needs to find 10 more here. Bombers only pressured with 3. And Hatcher can't come up with it. Was not picked. Falls incomplete. And Sean White will come out.
Yeah, I think you take the
field goal.
Yeah, take the points, make it a 2-possession game. Well, he's halfway out. Oh.
Timeout, BC.
Rick Campbell calls the timeout. And Rourke will now stay out on the field. And they'll go for it on 3rd and 10. White had started to trot out there, then they call the timeout. And I guess they figure within striking distance here, try to put up 7 while you can when you're this close.
Yeah, but we're not even at the 3-minute warning yet. I think in a 2-possession game.
4.5, yeah. All right, well, here we go. 3rd and 10 from the Winnipeg 15. Bombers defense will try to seal this one away. Far corner, end zone, up for grabs. Oh, does not come down. Oh, they call it a touchdown. They call it a touchdown on the field. I thought it popped out. My mistake. Hatcher went up.
What a catch. What a catch. In his hands there, foot down, inbounds.
That ball comes out, though.
The previous play is under automatic review by the command center since it's a scoring play.
Phenomenal effort from
Ruling on the field is a catch, and he landed straight on his back. So the question is, does he have possession long enough on his back before that he starts to roll and the ball comes out? What a catch. Look how he elevates to go get that. Now he's got it, foot down, and as he rolls, it comes out.
By the way, that's his first catch of the ball game.
This is going to be a very interesting ruling from the command center based on the last 2 weeks.
So he had it on his chest as his back hit down. Then it pops out. I don't know about this. Let's get the ruling.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It's an incomplete pass. It's going to be first down for Winnipeg.
Unbelievable effort for Keon Hatcher. And he just didn't maintain possession long enough when he hit the ground. And that's, you've got to survive contact with the ground if you go up and go after it like this.
Oh,
he's got to survive contact, and their ruling from the command center is that it popped out right when he hit the ground. And based on that replay, it was a little tough to actually see that, but that was the ruling.
So Winnipeg will get the ball back. 17-point lead. They'll give it to Lucky Whitehead. And Whitehead just shy of a first down where he's tackled. Kind of rolled past the line, but it'll be 2nd and short. And Strevler trots out onto the field here. Trevor will look to push it ahead and take more time off the clock. Winnipeg controlling the pace of this game pretty much the entire way. Strevler pushes ahead. He's got it out of the shotgun. Bombers struggled to start the year, beat the Red Blacks, beat the Stampeders in just a thriller, then had trouble scoring against the Riders and the Argos, but have bounced back with what looks to be like back-to-back victories against the BC Lions. That would push them to 4-6 on the season.
Timer, please reset the game clock to 3 minutes, 14 seconds. 3:14, please.
They're going to tack 13 seconds back on the clock here. Collaros is at 288 yards in this game. Got Kenny Lawler back. He's been involved, but it's been a Nick Dembski night. Dembski and Lawler will move over to the slot. To the right of Collaros here. Back on the ground. Johnny Augustine trying to kick it out. Stays on his feet. Augustine all the way up. Finally taken down at the 35. Almost stretched that thing out for a first down, but gets stopped about 3 yards shy. As the clock has hit 3 minutes here in BC, as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have come in and somewhat spoiled the party here on the return of Rourke. Augustine hasn't touched the ball much tonight, but a nice effort here from the football Ticats and the Bombers. Lions Red Blacks on Saturday, and then the red hot Edmonton Elks. Don't get to say that very often last half decade. But they'll take a 3-game winning streak to a very tough game against Montreal.
New ownership.
That's been the key all along. Should have sold the team years ago. 2nd and 1. Augustine picks up the first down. As the Bombers will just churn this clock down on the ground.
And would love to do it just like that on the ground. Let's take a look at a milestone that their head coach is going to hit. They can keep this going. 100 wins. They finish it off tonight.
That'll put him 5th on that list. Looks like they will. Also would be franchise win number 700. Joining Edmonton and Calgary. Collaros watching on here. Strevler will take it the rest of the way. He's out here right now. He's got 2 options. Out to his right. Takes the toss. Takes it ahead himself. Pushes it out beyond the 50. Here's Zach Collaros on his longtime head coach.
He lives it every day and has built that within our organization. He's brought the right people in to emulate that as well. So I've been saying it to you for years. It's just a privilege to be around him each and every day. And I know he's going to hate this question if you ask him that, but and that's probably what you love about him as a player, as somebody who works for him. Just an unbelievable person, obviously an unbelievable coach. And again, I'm just privileged to be around him every day.
You know, you see what this team has done over the last 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
And Osh will tell us about his core and Big Hill and Jefferson and Zach and everybody they have there, but they all make it very clear it starts with that man.
Yeah, and if you thought they were done at 0-4, I heard, you know, a little bit of they're getting old, they're too old, it's happening now, it's turning and all of that. You haven't been watching, because Coach O'Shea has built that culture, and I talk about it all the time. The culture that he has created every player in there feels like Zach does about being around it. And when you get it, it's special. It's organic. You can't force it on a team. You have to have good leaders to have them, you know, take ownership of the locker room. But he has got that going and has for a lot of years, and that's why this is such a successful team. And lucky, you can't ride in on a motorcycle.
Not allowed. not going to fly at Princess Auto Stadium or here, where they said that the Lions offered it up. Weird thing to see somebody else celebrated for the entry. This is Berryhill. He spins it back ahead. Nowhere to go. They were all over that one down the field.
Well, it will be one that will be added a little bit to the frustration level for Nathan Rourke. They're going to bring in Chase Bryce to finish this game off, it looks like. But I say add to it because when he talked to our Farhan Lalji on before the game, Rourke had mentioned that he still feels bad about the West Final in his last game in the Canadian Football League. Bad for the organization, wanted to make amends for that.
And a completion to McInnes from Bryce.
So this frustration tonight adds to it. But again, temper expectations because of 3 days of practice. As Farhan mentioned off the top of the show, I think it was only one full day with all of the starting receiving core. He hasn't worked with Justin McInnes before. Alexander Hollins is a little nicked.
Well, and he hasn't played a full football game in 644 days.
And listen, we're not giving excuses for Nathan Rourke. What we're saying is you put anybody in that situation, it's going to be tough. And then you add the fact that this is the hottest defense in the league right now that is really playing shutout football. I mean,
if it means anything for Rourke, prior to VA's injury in the other shutout, or in the shutout game, he only had like 87 yards through 3.5 quarters.
Exactly.
So, and that was a guy who was coming into that game as a front runner for MOP. So, this is down the field. Hatcher gets popped by Brandon Alexander. Bounces right back up.
It's been a quiet season for Brandon Alexander, but don't ever think that he won't bring it here on an inside route. And good for him to turn and make sure he's gets his head out of it, leads with his shoulder. That's a big hit.
Bryce has come in and put together a string of completions to get the Lions down to the 45. Of course, time ticks down. Bryce from Clemson to Duke to Appalachian State. Rourke back from the NFL, and we'll have more time to get settled in. They also have a guy on the sidelines by the name of Vernon Adams Jr. as well, so
probably a couple weeks away, maybe more. Vernon Adams is what the word is.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers, though, have themselves right back in the thick of it in West division that has just come right back together. 4 losses in a row for the BC Lions. The Riders only have 1 win in their last 6 now. Edmonton's won 3 in a row. Calgary just sort of wins and loses. Down to Hatcher here. That's going to be pass interference. And with 4 seconds on the clock, they'll put this ball to 1. But I don't know if I've seen the West like this.
Winnipeg, number 31.
It just got,
so it's going to be first down at the 1-yard line.
It is just in the last 2 or 3 weeks got very interesting in the West, and I guarantee you the Lions want to score here just to say they can against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defense. And by the way,
Bombers defense will not want to allow this touchdown.
Exactly. But by the way, this is a season series game as well between these two teams.
The Bombers have won the last 6 straight season series between these two teams, and they're about to take another one and make it 7. Also will be 16-1 following a bye in their last 17. Here's Mackey trying to find the end zone, but there's flags on the play. He's in for the touchdown, but this is against the Lions.
Before the play went off, Winnipeg called a timeout.
Oh, Winnipeg calls a timeout. That's a round of boos from more than 30,000 here at BC Place.
Yeah, but their head coach, hey, their head coach played defense. He knows his defense is hot, and he doesn't want to let them score either. 2 seconds left or not. Well, now it gets back to 4, but
Mackey will try to find the end zone here. Pushing it ahead, and he's in. Touchdown, BC. They get one right at the end.
So it is possible.
Somebody could score a touchdown against the Bombers. All it takes is a prevent defense for the final 60 seconds. A flag in the end zone that brought the ball 40 yards up the field. And then a 1-yard push ahead.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I mean, I'm okay with defensive football. I know most fans love to see a lot of points scored and quarterbacks throwing it around, and that's good too, but I'm okay. The defense is allowed to win as well, and Collaros will be the first to tell you, interview guys on the defense after the game, because they're the ones that are winning games for us.
Price checks on 2 more to Javon Catoy, and 20-11 will be your final.
I do want to just mention one more thing about Nathan Rourke and the way that Vernon Adams, throughout the game, I've been watching their communication all game long, and no matter how frustrated Nathan Rourke was coming off the field, Vernon Adams was the first guy over to give him that pat on the back and say, no problem, let's keep it rolling, let's get it going. You're gonna have to get used to the speed again. And
BC Lions, no matter who's at quarterback, will have to find a way out of this slide.
Another Western opponent too, the 4-point game. 2 they get, the 2 you don't get.
Well, that's 4 in a row too.
Yeah.
Right, the other 3 losses were one of them was against his Winnipeg team, but 2 other West opponents as well. The interesting thing with the West is that you've got Edmonton, who's just behind Calgary and Winnipeg. And in September, Edmonton only plays Calgary and Winnipeg. 2 against Calgary, and then 2 against Winnipeg.
Just getting started.
Second half of the season in the West is going to be
Lions back-to-back against Ottawa.
That's
starting out there in the East.
And then back for touchdown Pacific. Dembski slides back to handle this kick.